We're back at the reservoir again. I thought we'd take a walk and have a bit of a talk. Let's go. Beautiful views, look at that. Can't get enough of that. So we're going to walk in the opposite direction this time on the reservoir. And if we walk this way for about, I think about a third of a mile, we should be able to drop down and get right close. Anyway, let's just set this camera. All right, here we go. Let's do this. What are we going to talk about today? Well, I thought today would be a bit of a motivational talk, or my take on motivation anyway. And I'd give you some real life experiences as to some of the things that I've come across. So, you know, as you all know, I teach classes, and I teach a lot of various types of classes, and I've been teaching classes for going on 30 years now. And one thing that I do observe is that a lot of people tend to give up quite, I wouldn't say a lot of people, some people tend to give up quite early in the game. And if things aren't quite going their way, they want to throw the towel in. And I'm here to say that no, that's not what we should do. Fall down one, get up twice. Fall down twice, get up 3 times. Fall down 7, get up 8. You've probably heard that terminology used before. So that's how I feel. And if Tommy can see the reservoir, I'm going to take a quick look. I'm all about not quitting. I'm going to give you 3 examples of for me, when quitting isn't an option, wasn't an option, and isn't an option. About 11 years ago, when I was what's down here? Well, if we're allowed to go down here. Oh, it's all chained off. What a shame. But someone fishing down there. I don't know if we're allowed. It's all locked off, so I guess we're not allowed to come through this one. Alright, anyway, let's keep back to the story. We'll keep walking along the road. So about 11 years ago, I wanted to, well, a bit of history. I've been teaching dance classes for about 27 years, ballroom dance. And so I can hear the beat, I can pick up the timing. So about 11 years ago, I wanted to start teaching step aerobics. And I signed up for this weekend course to learn to become a step aerobics instructor. Went along on the Saturday. It was a weekend course, Saturday and a Sunday. And right away I found that I was out of my league, because a lot of the people that look at that, fancy living there and having that as your view. A lot of the people that came to the class had a step aerobics excuse me, background, which I didn't. I had a fitness background, but not step aerobics, step that step aerobic dancing background. I did not have that background. So I was in a room with, I don't know, 20, 30 odd people who, for what I could see, they all had this aerobics, dance aerobics background. That's what I'm looking for, dance aerobics background, which I didn't have. And they just knew what they were doing. I didn't. And went through the weekend. I went home that Saturday thinking, wow, this is a tough old go. Came back the Sunday, worked through the Sunday. Look at this. Anytime we can, if we keep walking, we should be able to, excuse me, drop down and get to here. That's what I'm looking for. Just look at those views. Absolutely lovely. Anyway, back to the story. Listen to the birds for a minute, why not? So came back the Sunday, another full day, and at the end of that, the instructor, teacher, said, you failed. Well, not failed, they call it, I think, a referral, what they meaning that you didn't pass, all right, which means you failed. So, I was absolutely devastated. Up until then, I'd done other kinds of classes, like acro aerobics, teaching spin, you know, indoor cycling, and I think I'd done a couple others as well. So I was adding strings to my bow as the classes that I could teach in the gym. And I failed. And I was like, oh my word. So he says to me, all right, put together a video, send it to me, and I'll grade you based on the video. So I went away and I practiced feverishly. So this was about probably October, November time. And I practiced all the way going down to Christmas. And I remember right around Christmas time, right before Christmas, is when I sent him the video. And he got the video. And he failed. He failed me again. Oh, didn't pass me. I want to put it that way. Look at this. Wow. Let's just look at these views. Let's just take a second. I'm walking up a hill. Look at that. So, failed second time. So now this is right around Christmas. And once again, I'm absolutely devastated. And he says to me, I think what you need to do is come along to some step aerobics classes and see, you know, how it functions. So we're into January now. And I did. I went along to, I had to drive 100 miles each way to get to this location. And I did that throughout the whole month of January. Just went to these classes on a Saturday or Sunday, I can't quite remember. But anyway, it was a weekend. Spend the whole afternoon dancing, learning the steps, getting familiar with the timing. And end of January, he's like, okay, we're going to test you again. And boom, I passed. Third time. I was over the moon happy with the outcome. But I wasn't going to give up, was I? I was not going to let it go. As far as I was concerned, it was whatever it took to get that certification. What do we got down here? Just an open field. Some more views. Over in the background if you can see, behind those trees is the Bristol Channel. Yeah, that's what that is. Just to give you an idea. Lovely sky, huh? Well, it's kind of like the opening going towards the Bristol Channel, we should say. Right. Let's look at some more views. So that's story number 1. Story number 2 is, and this is going back again about 8 years, maybe, I don't know, 2016, whatever, it's 9 years ago, isn't it? 2016. I started my calisthenics journey in 2014, and which means body weight exercises, really. And one of the ones that you do, which isn't just calisthenics, but they do it in yoga, they do it in all sorts, they do it in gymnastics. It's that crab, you know, when you lay on your back and you scoop yourself up. In yoga they call it the wheel. There's another name for it as well, I can't quite remember, but it's when you lay on your back and you push yourself up into that and you arch your back. All right, and always wanted to be able to do that. And I thought, well, okay, I'm gonna give this a go. And it was, for me, it was challenging, really challenging, actually. And what does this all say here? Stop here. So I don't know what goes back in there. Wait for the gate to open. Not sure what that is. Someone live here or what? Don't know. But anyway, we're just looking, aren't we? So I started trying to teach myself how to do the crab. Looked at all sorts of videos on the internet, and I just couldn't push myself up. I used the wall to help me, put my feet against the wall, put my hands against the wall, did all sorts, and I just could not push myself up. And this went on for over a year, if not longer. Definitely 2016, definitely 2017, probably around 2018. Let's look at that. Once again, we'll just take a breath and look at that. So once again, in the background, what you're looking at is the entrance to the Bristol Channel. So I know it took me definitely over a year to be able to get to a point where I could crab. And then finally, after trying, I don't know if this is a car park to go down there or not, or if this is parking for these people's house. I really don't know. I need to ask someone if that's parking, because then I could just park here and just walk on down. So that took me over a year of grinding away, all right, to get to the point where I could push myself up into a crab. And then 3 years ago, I thought, well, I'm going to do a video on social media and just say how to do the crab. And I just gave all sorts of tips and things that I've picked up along the way and that I used to be able to help me to get to doing the crab. And that video is, I think I've got about 50,000 views on it. So went from the point of not knowing how to crab, taking me over a year, definitely over a year, to the point where I'm teaching a video on how to crab. Now, I'm just not going to give up. I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm not giving up. And the third one I'd like to share with you now is I have lived in Spain on and off, well, lived and worked and been to Spain on and off over the last 20 years. And in that time, you know, you would have thought I could speak Spanish fluently, but I can't. And a lot of that is just because when I'm in Spain, I'm around Brits, a lot of Brits. And when I'm working over there, I'm working with, what does this say here? Public footpath. All right, let's kind of see, because that takes us down to the lake, excuse me, or to the reservoir. Let's just, public footpath. All right then, let's see what this is all about. Look at this, and maybe in it, and where was I? Yeah, so 20 years going to Spain, and my Spanish is not great. 6 months ago, I said, you know what? I have had enough of this. And I downloaded the Duolingo app, and I said, I'm going to get serious now. So I guess the public footpath, so this is the reservoir. Okay, so that's like the dam part of the reservoir. Look at that. Okay, so the public footpath is through in here. We'll look at this. Cows in the field and all sorts. We'll look at this probably another day. So I see. You step over here is what you do. Okay, wow. And then you go down to the we'll look at this definitely another day. Yeah, this will be another walk. There's the dam. No public access beyond this. All right, look at that. That's the dam. That's the, wow. Okay. All right. So, I said to myself now, do you know what? You need to get serious. Downloaded that Duolingo app. So 6 months ago, I said, I'm going to start and I'm really going to go for this. Started listening to Spanish news every day. I do the Duolingo every day. There's so many programs that I watch on YouTube in Spanish. And I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's challenging. It's way challenging, right? But my Spanish has come along big guns in the last 6 months. I mean, you know, I can go into a situation, into like a bank or whatever the case might be, or any kind of place, or I can read documents and have a good idea, much better idea now than I did 6 months ago. And there are days when I feel like I'm making huge steps ahead, and there are other days when I'm like, I thought you knew that word, and you feel like you're going back a step. But the point is, I am moving forward, and I'm not going to give up, because I can pretty much understand, well, I wouldn't say, if you're speaking slower, I can really, I'm a lot better then, but you know, when people are speaking full tilt, that's a bit of a, quite challenging to understand, but I can get the general gist when I'm watching videos or listening to someone as to what they're saying. And my my speaking Spanish has definitely improved, and I'm just gonna stay with it once again. And I'm back. What's this? Backcasting. This is a shared space for walkers and anglers. Beware of anglers backcasting up to oh, okay. All right. Beware of anglers backcasting. All right. So yeah. And I'm not gonna give up on this Spanish thing now. Whether or not I ever go to Spain again, whether or not I ever work in Spain again, or whatever, I don't care. The bottom line is that I am going to become fluent in Spanish, both listening and speaking. That is my goal. And slowly, I will get there. One verb at a time, one sentence at a time. I'm just not going to let it go. That's my goal. So if I could just impart that little bit of those life experiences with people, with anyone, don't let it go. All right? Be a dog with a bone. If there's something you want to accomplish, like a cafe or something. It looks like a cafe or something down here. I would say. All right, so I'd say I should be able to come down here. Right. Yeah, it's definitely public parking. All right. And yeah, so so this is the parking. Then come down here, park, and then the next time we can go for a walk back there. But yeah, I would definitely say be a dog with a bone. Don't let it go. Whatever it is you want to accomplish, just go for it. Absolutely go for it. And once you've gone for it, don't let it go. So you don't get there on the first go around. And you don't get there on the second go around. And you don't get there on the third go around. Life jackets, no unauthorized access. Boat anglers only beyond this point. No fishing from. Alright. We won't go any further. But we'll just take a look. Water for me, believe it or not, it's so majestic, isn't it? Wow, absolutely lovely. Take the views in. But don't let it go. As I was saying at the beginning of the video, that I see a lot of people come to classes and if things aren't quite going their way, they might a lot of people will kind of look at that sky, look at that. People tend to give up and no. So you don't get there the first day or the second day or the third day or the fourth day or the fifth day. That's okay. Stay with it. The same way, and those are just a couple examples. I can give you so many examples in my life where things haven't gone my way the first time around, but I wasn't going to let it go. So I hope this video might have inspired even one person to just think, all right, what's the worst that can happen? So you don't get where you want to go the first time or the second time, and you give it a go again. And what are we doing? We're building character. We're building grit. And every time we do it, the body and the mind are starting to feel the feel. You know, the brain doesn't know the difference between truth and fiction. So, or reality and fiction. So if you role play, and that's something I used to do a lot of as a child, believe it or not. I think back to some of the things I did as a child. I used to role play. I was a really good footballer, actually. And I remember just being in the living room. Used to take like a couple, 3, 4 socks and kind of ball them up and use it as a ball. And I would practice heading the ball into the sofa. The sofa was the goal. Just drilling myself. And little did I know at age 10 years old that I was role playing and I was practicing, improving my skill set, because the brain doesn't know the difference between fact and fiction. So me heading that ball into, that sock into the sofa was me heading the real ball into the goal. So don't give up. I mean, I have so many instances in my life where things haven't gone my way the first time or the second time or the third time. But if it's something that you want, let's just look back at that. Look at that. Yeah. Keep going. The sky is the limit. I remember when I was in college, I wasn't a traditional student. I didn't enroll in college until I was about 22, I think. And I remember one of my college professors, I used to work I used to work a night job in a hamburger joint from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. All right. Then I would go home, take a shower, literally jump into bed for about half an hour, if I remember correctly, but some ridiculously short time. All right. Because I had to be at the supermarket for 9 o'clock, and I was packing the shelves at the supermarket from 9 until mid-afternoon. I think I finished up around 3, 4 o'clock, and then I went to college. And I used to go to college in the evening from, I don't know, somewhere around 5 o'clock till about 9, 10 o'clock at night. And then I would go home, take another quick shower, and then head back and do my night shift. I did this for years. That's how I got through college. Yeah, I think now, wow. But when you're young, you have so much energy, and there's nothing that you can't do. And I got through it. And I graduated with a associate's degree in Bachelor of Science in business administration. So it can be done. It just takes determination, willpower, focus. Something that I always say: eat right, exercise, rest. Stay focused and be patient. How about that? Drop me a comment, please. Let me know, what do you think of these walk and talk videos? Is there something that you'd like for me to talk about? Do you have any questions? I've had a few really great questions, which I'm really thankful for, because well, anything, fitness, nutrition, I think I've got a good grip on that. So if you have any kind of questions, really, any kind of life questions, I'll try to answer them for you. But if you made it through to the end of this video, I'd like to thank you very, very much for all the subscribers, all the viewers, all the comments, because this is what I do, and I'd like to be able to share what I do and share my experiences with all of you. And hopefully, if I can help someone, anyone, along their journey. Look at this. This is lovely, isn't it? I'd be more than happy to do that. Well, I'm walking back to the car now, and then I'm going to get ready for my evening classes. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you in a minute. Just going to let the video run. Don't even have to say anything. We're in what is today? I think June 6th. And someone messaged me today and said supposedly there's a storm coming in. I do like a good storm. Wind, rain, battering against the windows. Yeah. These walks for me, believe it or not, I've only been doing this like 3 weeks. Well, I've been posting these kinds of videos for a month now. I mean, I've been posting videos, fitness videos, since lockdown, but this style of walking, talking, I've only been doing this for a month. And I have to say that just doing this has really changed my outlook. It's the fact that I can just come out and walk. It's really helped me. And it's about uncovering mini adventures in your back garden. We all have these somewhere where we live. I'm very blessed that I live in a part of the country where this is a holiday destination, so people come here all year round, but you know, during the summer this place really does fill up. But yeah, you don't have to hop on a plane, you don't have to hop in the car and go miles and miles and miles. You can enjoy wherever it is that you live. Just, you know, yards from where you live. You don't have to go far. So for me, all these excursions, all these mini adventures that I've been taking you on, they're all like about a mile from my from where I'm going to teach a class. And once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I feel very blessed that I work in such an environment. Look, these are the kinds of places that I go to teach classes. Wow. I remember I got hired for a desk job. It was a telesales job, right? And I thought, well, all right. Can you imagine living here and just seeing that all day long? Huh? And it was a Monday, and it was the longest week ever. Just could not hack it. So, you know, I got the job through an agency, and I called the agency up and I said, "Is this, you know, you got anything else that I can go and interview on?" And then so that I started the job on the Monday. On the Friday, I had an interview for a account manager position where I was a national account manager, and it meant traveling throughout the entire UK visiting clients. And I went for the interview on the Friday. So I went to my boss, I'd only been there 4 days, and I said, "Oh, no, what did I do? Did I call in sick? I think I called in sick." After 4 days, I called in sick, yeah. And I went for this interview, and I'll never forget, it was in London, South London. It was an afternoon interview, and the person that interviewed me was going to be my boss. And when I came out of the interview, the agency that sent me, they said, "When you come out, call us right away and let us know, how did the interview go?" So I finished the interview, came down the stairs into my car, and I called the agency up to say, "Yeah, I've just finished the interview." And the agency said, "You've got the job." So from the time it took me to get out of my new boss's office and walk down the road, walk down, get in the elevator, come down, go into the car park, into my car, which was less than 3 minutes maybe, he had called the agency and told them he wanted to hire me. Imagine that. I was over the moon happy. So the Monday, because it was a Monday to Friday job, that telesales job, I went to work on the Monday, and I said to the HR manager, "I'm sorry, but I've found a new job." And he understood, and he said to me, "Yeah, I kind of figured that." He said, I knew you were overqualified for this position, and you have a lot more to offer than we could have offered you." And he was really, really good about it, because you have to work out your 2 weeks notice, or whatever the case might be. Can't remember what it was, but he said, "Don't worry about it." He says, "Wish you all the best in the world, and go start your new career." I've met some really nice people along my journey, my life journey, and that's a whole nother video, me telling you about some of the people that I've met along my journey. Anyway, I've got to go to work. So definitely I'll see you in a minute. 9 p.m, all classes done. Hopefully you liked our walk today and our motivational talk. All right, in a minute.